Oh my God. Rampage Jackson's son attempted murder. Gable Steveson, new information. And Dana White Contender Series Week 3 wrap-up. We got lots to talk about today. Lots of other stuff as well, such as Ilia Topuria, Sean Strickland, Kiefer Crosby. Nobody knows that guy, but we got a decent amount to talk about. We're going to start with Rampage Jackson's son tried to kill somebody. And if you haven't heard this, by the way, you've been living under a rock. Even if you're not an MMA fan. Like, I mean, Guru made a video, but I'm pretty sure Asmongold made a video. Moist Critical made a video. I mean, this is big. It's YouTube slop YouTubers news. But he attempted a murder, dude. He tried to kill somebody. Rampage Jackson. He landed 24 punches to the jaw of an already unconscious man. I'm not going to play the video because, honestly, it's a little hard for me to watch. And also, by the way, I don't know what the fuck this guy's in the caption is talking about. Rampage raised a psychopath. Ignore that, all right? I just wanted the photo. He did raise a psych. I mean, to be fair, the man literally tried to kill somebody. And the only people who are defending it, for some reason, are MMA fighters connected with the UFC. Everyone else is very much, don't try and kill somebody, you know? So, you can see he's on top of him here. What he did, he entered the ring, which was supposed to happen. We're going to break down a lot of stuff. He enters the ring. He slams the guy. The guy smashes his head off the ground because Rampage Jackson, believe it or not a professional wrestler. If you don't know, he trains MMA. I don't even think he's that good. I think they were talking on the Jackson podcast recently about Rampage like being able to take him down pretty easily, and he's like kind of undisciplined. Slams this guy, Psycho Stu is the wrestler's name. I forget his real name. Slams him down. Psycho Stu smashes his head off the mat and is knocked unconscious. We could end the story here. You know, too bad you don't let some random streamer into the ring, though, and slam somebody. But instead, Rampage Jackson then mounted him and punched him 24 times in the jaw and mouth. Now, I don't have the post, but one of the other wrestlers here, there's a whole bunch of them that didn't do anything, by the way. One dude tried to stop him. The referee didn't even do. I know it's fake and set up, and like, as an actor, what do you do in that situation? But you still are watching your friend get beaten to death and not doing anything about it. You know what I mean? Anyways, there was one of them had come out and said that he was choking on his teeth and blood, and that he has like very few teeth left. All of his teeth were broken because, again, he was punched 24 times in the jaw clean while being unconscious. He just woke up today, I'm pretty sure, by the way. The news came out today that he was conscious and talking. So, and this happened on Saturday night. A long time. He was in a medically induced coma. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We're not really going to get into like the aftermath of it so much as we are going to talk about the beginning, which starts right here. Thank you, American Nachos on X. We're going to start with the basic stuff. Rampage Jackson shows up to this wrestling event. You can see a bunch of wrestlers here, and this dude who's a wrestler, who is Psycho Stu. Right?
You don't know
he
me?
talks to him.
No. Yeah.
Psycho Stu grabs this can. Now, this looks like a beer can, and we are going to analyze it pretty... I can't really full screen this. We are going to analyze it pretty heavily. Let me center this a little bit better, though. It looks like he grabs a beer can. And what he does with this beer can is what incited this entire thing. Now, if you're just a regular guy, a regular Joe, such as myself, who doesn't watch wrestling, you would go, why would you slam a beer can on some random guy's head? However, This beer can does not have beer in it. It is a prop can filled with air and moisture to make it look way worse than it is, which is it's a professional wrestling thing. It's a prop can. So he smashes on the head. You can see the moisture come out. Shockingly little amount of beer comes out of this can. Why? Because, again, not full of beer. Smashes on his head. And then Raja kind of walks him down. You know what I mean? Now, and this is a similar take with a lot of people. If you're Raja Jackson in this situation, you show up to this wrestling event, you don't know what this guy's doing. Also, we have to make it clear that he was concussed in training days before this. So here, you can see, let's go back a few seconds, 1 second. You can see Raja Jackson in training in MMA, and he gets spinning kicked in the head. Now, he got wobbled, he got stunned, right? He's concussed from that. He got concussed. He didn't get flatlined. He didn't even get knocked down, but he's hurt badly, right? And he walks off. He's hurt badly, though. So he's concussed. Now, obviously, the wrestler does not know this. How would you know this? Why are you showing up? Why are you streaming, by the way, while you're concussed? You're, supposed to not look at electronics. But, sure, he shows up to this wrestling event that has a lot of crazy lights going on, I would assume. It's a wrestling event. While concussed. Goes back to meet the wrestlers, because he's a streamer, right? And he hits him in the head. Now, the wrestler doesn't know, I'm sure. I mean, I'm almost certain that Psycho Stu, war veteran with PTSD, did not know that Raja Jackson was concussed days ago. You know? So he hits him on the head with this beer can that has nothing in it except air and moisture and is completely empty. Now, if you're Raja, you don't know that. You don't know what he's hitting you on the head with. You just know that you got hit on the head. Again, Raja's not a professional wrestler. He doesn't know that it's a prop. So he gets tight.
Fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the...
I don't know if it's hearable, but this dude grabs his hand right here. It's like fucking, there's a thing in the way, but this dude grabs his hand right here, and he says to him, he's not a worker, bro.
He's not a fucking worker, bro.
See? You hear that? He says, he's not a fucking worker, bro. And he tries to pull him. So he's telling Psycho Stu, chill, don't hit him. He's not a wrestler. He's not a worker.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
And so they're kind of talking off for a bit. And then Psycho Stu says, you gonna sell it?
You gonna sell it?
Right there. It says, you gonna sell it? As in, selling in professional wrestling is like when you get hit with a move that doesn't hurt and then you overact that it hurt really bad. That's selling a move. So he gets hit on the head with the bottle. He doesn't move. And Psycho goes, you gonna sell it? Because he, again, thinks it's part of the mystique. Right? Anyways, they back up, and things kind of calm down, right? He's still kind of tight, but they end up talking to that dude who's sitting down, and things calm down, right? He stands up, he's talking to him. Now let's skip a little bit here. This is minutes later, right? Minutes later. Psycho Stu is sitting down. Raja comes up to him and says, hey, listen, sorry. Well, let's just watch the video.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were...
You can see. Psycho Stu shakes his hand. Listen, man, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought it was part of the thing. I'm sorry. I didn't know, right? Says that. I didn't know. Puts his hands up. I didn't know. And listen what Raja says. I get it. He's accepting an apology right here.
I know you keep thinking
This dude, again, the dude who was kind of talking to them to cool off the situation, he says, we set it up that he's going to come in on your match. So now they're trying to sell it, right? There was beef there. He got hit on the head. They got tight. There's beef there. He's going to come in. He's going to come in on your match.
We're always working.
And so he says, we're always working.
You know what I'm saying? We're always
And he says, I get it. It was an accident. Now, this cuts to later. We're at later in the night during the wrestling event. Now, the wrestlers are wrestling. I don't know if this is the correct part of the video. Let's listen along. Okay, never mind. This is where he enters the ring. This is where Raja enters the ring. So the crowd kind of freaks out because they're going, what the fuck's going on? However, nobody else freaks out because they know it's part of the setup, right? Raja walks over to him. Now, Raja, again, not a professional wrestler, doesn't know the moves, doesn't know what he's doing. This guy, Psycho Stu, amateur, you know? And I'm sure you learn how to take a fall. I was talking to a dude on the train on fucking Friday who practices professional wrestling. And he was saying, you learn how to take these falls. It's called a bump. You learn how to take the bumps. So, Raja picks him up. Look, he's going with it. Maybe at this point he's not, because this looks like a genuine slam. Whereas, to my understanding, again, I don't watch it, I don't practice it, I don't know really all that much. But to my understanding, it's not so much that Raja in this say Raja's like a Roman Reigns and Psycho Stu's like a John Cena, right? It's not so much that Raja is picking him up and slamming him, whereas it is John Cena jumping and landing on his back, with Roman Reigns doing picks him up, but he's not legit slamming him. It's more on John Cena to sell the performance, where he jumps up, right? Well, you can even see it later or earlier when Psycho Stu does whatever. It's more that this dude he's taking the bump. He's not actually getting speared, right? Psycho Stu kind of bends over, and this dude jumps into him and makes it look. Then he pretends, oh yeah, I'm really hurt from that. Look, I hurt my stomach badly, right? It's more on the guy receiving the move, to my understanding. Raja doesn't know this, and I don't think, the average person, I think, does not know this. I only know this because I was literally on Friday talking to a guy about how you take bumps and everything. I would have Thursday, if this happened on Thursday and I made a video about it on Thursday, I wouldn't have known this. All right, I literally learned this 5 days ago. So he picks him up. Now Psycho Stu is like, okay, I'm gonna go for the move, and then Raja legit real life slams him on the back of his head. Now I'm not gonna play the rest of the video because it's really, really bad. It's really bad. Anyways, eventually this dude steps in and stops Raja from literally beating a man to death. And then we cut a little bit further.
Shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
Raja. Not a good look, bro. You just committed an attempted murder, and now you're having a YN crash out on the street. With blood on your shirt from the man that you tried to bludgeon to death. Allegedly. It's not actually in this video, but there's a clip of Raja before he gets into the ring where he says, they said I can hit him, and I'm going to try and hit him as many times as I can. Premeditated, bro. This was an assassination attempt, is what this was. He tried to assassinate Psycho Stu. Now, I do have some good news coming out of this. Psycho Stu is awake and communicating. He's in hospital. Psycho Stu has raised over $140,000 on his GoFundMe. $140,194 US dollars to. By the way, Mr. Beast came out and said, I'll pay for all of his hospital bills, $10K. Medically induced coma, multiple days, overnight. Probably lots of concussion stuff. X-rays maybe of his mouth and face to make sure I'm sure his jaw is broken. This dude's going to be eaten through a straw, dude. So And I was talking with my boss about this. This is how big this is. My boss knew about this news. I didn't even have to tell him. My own boss knew about this news. We were talking like, it's crazy that Raja is 25 years old and just ruined his life because some dude smashed a fake beer bottle on his head. He ruined his life. And my boss was talking about comparing it to the Kramer situation. Not the same. All right. Kramer didn't try to kill somebody. All right. Kramer went on a racist crash out. He went on a very racist rant, but I understand. Like, he ruined his own life and career because some dude smashed a fake beer bottle on his head. But it also made me think, not only did Raja ruin his own life, I can't imagine that this dude's going to be the same again. I can't imagine that this dude's going to live until, I don't know how old he is, but like 60 because of what Raja did to him. I can't imagine, like, dude, he's going to be eating through a straw in a few years. He has brain bleed, fucking swelling on his brain. Again, was choking on his blood in his teeth. They still pinned him, by the way. It's not in the video, but they did still pin him after. I want to finish this story up by saying, put the man away, bro. Put him in prison. Put Rampage Jackson in prison. I don't give a fuck who you are. You tried to kill somebody. You attempted a murder. It's not just an assault. It's not just an assault because if Raja was not forcibly pulled off, he would have killed this guy. If there was nobody to step in, he would have killed this guy. That's an attempted murder. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. Horrible situation. Prayers up to Psycho Stu. Let's move on to another bad situation. Gable Steveson. Now, Big Gabe. We announced. We broke the news last week that Gable Steveson is going to be making his professional MMA debut on September 12th. And I didn't have to say much about it. I mean, I don't really fucking know the guy. He's a wrestler. All right. American ADCC Olympic wrestler. Gold medalist. And he's fighting at LFA 217 on September 12th. However, he was also scheduled, and I believe this is in 2 weeks or in 1 week, at CGI 2 or 3, Craig Jones Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition. Craig Jones Invitational, I believe it's called. He was scheduled to fight there, and he pulled out. Gordon Ryan. Why is this so massive? Hang on. I apologize. Gordon Ryan touched on this. Yeah, CGI 2. He pulled out of the main event. I don't love Gordon Ryan. I kind of don't like Gordon Ryan, actually. I think he's a bit of a dickhead. He makes some good points. He pulls out from CGI 2, and in less than 2 weeks, he's fighting on UFC Fight Pass on LFA, making his professional MMA debut. He goes on to praise the UFC for this because Gordon Ryan hates everybody else in jiu-jitsu. I don't know. He's weird. Anyways, Gable Steveson. I don't know the guy. All right, I've never seen him. I fucking did not watch him wrestle in 2020. I don't even think it was in 2020. I think it was in 2021, but he's a 2020 Olympian because of COVID. But I have heard some unfortunate news regarding Big Gabe. Now, he was found to be innocent. However, Gable Steveson, in 2019, did not face criminal charges in a case of suspected criminal sexual conduct in part of Minnesota law, which said that the person couldn't be charged for if the victim was willingly intoxicated. Which, I don't know what the fuck kind of law is that. But I'm on The Gable Steveson hate train, all right, buddy? Despicable stuff. D1 fucking athlete behavior, though, I will say. That is D1 athlete behavior. Whoopsies. That is D1 athlete behavior. I just wanted to bring that up to inform the audience that this dude is not someone that we should be respecting, I guess. Anyways, we're going to move on to some good stuff. Well, let's go here. Let's go here. We're moving on to some decent stuff. The UFC has announced that they are doing a numbered event. This is not like news, but they're doing a numbered event in 2026 in Salt Lake City. And I only want to bring this up for one reason. The craziest shit happens in Salt Lake City. The craziest MMA, like, most insane underdog victories, like, insane shit happens in Utah, in Salt Lake City. The Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman head kick, Salt Lake City. I can't think of anything else, but crazy shit happens in Utah, dude. I think the judges fuck up there a lot as well, so should be a good night. Hopefully we get some crazy shit, because this year has been pretty lackluster. I know this is in 2026, but like this year for UFC has been less than satisfactory. So hopefully we get some absurdly insane underdog, like Hamzat losing to like a fucking like JDM moves up or something and beats Hamzat in a spectacular, or no, I don't know. Do you think they're doing Hamzat versus Dricus rematch? Surely not. I just thought of this. Because I feel like it would have been smart to have Dricus fight one of the prospects, but now they're having the prospects fight each other, so we could get the rematch. And let's hope it's in Salt Lake, because the piano might actually fall that time. That could be it, dude. You know that? They're going to be in Salt Lake City. Hamzat's going to be mauling Dricus again, and like one of the monitors is going to fall from the fucking big thing in the middle and land on Hamzat. Let's touch on Ilia Topuria. News came out this morning, I believe, that Ilia Topuria, his coach had put something on Twitter or Instagram saying that they were fighting Gaethje at UFC 322 in November. It has since been falsified. I don't know what his coach was talking about, and I don't know. But Ilia Topuria is not fighting Justin Gaethje at UFC 322. That would have been a heater, though. Low-key, I feel like that is a good fight for... Like, when that got announced, I didn't go... Like, I feel like I would with an Armin or a Patty, which are the only three fights that we can make right now at lightweight. But I feel like Armin or Patty, I go... I just don't care. Like, Ilya's going on a generational run just to fight an Arman Tsarukyan, which I understand Arman's a dangerous opponent and very, very talented. But, like, I don't care. Give me a Gaethje, bro. Let me see him fight Gaethje. How does his legs stand up to the Gaethje leg kicks? I feel like that would be a decent fight for Ilia. I was actually kind of excited when I saw that news. I went, oh, that's a good fight. And then they would be Arman versus Patty, which I also like. Sean Strickland has been suspended for 6 months. In late June, he was at a Tough Enough event. A fighter taunted him, and he ran into the octagon and punched him in the head. Because Sean Strickland is a fucking insane human being. He did the Degeneration X suck it thing, and you punched him in the head after his MMA fight because for some reason, I don't know. I gave my piece on it back when this happened in late June. You can probably scroll back to that video. It wasn't that long ago. It was like 5 videos ago. I gave my piece on this back when it happened, but the official suspension is in this week. It was 6 months. However, as you can see here, his suspension can be reduced to 4.5 months if he completes an anger management course. He has come out and said that he will be completing that anger management course because he wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev. Now, obviously, that might be a joke. I don't think he deserves Khamzat. But I think that if he does, I think it's very, very not smart of him to complete the anger management course. And I know, like, what he did was wrong. I'm not defending punching a man in the head, Rampage Jackson. I'm not defending it. But a lot of fighters, and this happened with Jalen Turner, a lot of fighters kind of need that anger. They need that will and that want, I guess, to hurt people. They want to hurt, well, yeah, I guess. You want to hurt this guy. Not people, but, like, you want to hurt your opponent. I'm not always using anti-therapy, but I do think that as a professional fighter, you should have some anger in you. You know? You should want to hurt your opponent. This is what happened with Jalen Turner. I don't know if he did anger management courses, but Jalen Turner said, he's come out and he said, I didn't want to hurt people anymore. He's fighting him in the Reebok era. Lands a nasty overhand right. Hook, maybe, over the top hook. Probably, it was a hook. It was an overhand. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nasty right hook. Knocks his opponent down badly. All he needs is a follow-up shot. All he needs is one. Look, the dude's not defending himself. Jump down there and punch him on the jaw one time and put him out. Walks away. Walking off.
What is he doing?
Referee didn't stop it. Just walking away.
What is he doing? Finish the
Letting his opponent recover. Now, I think he goes on to win this fight. However, knocks Moicano down badly. Look at Moicano, arguably, he smacks his head off the ground, I think. Referee, the rule is that they step in, but he looked fine after. Knocks him down badly. Now, Moik is in a slightly better spot. I don't think one follow-up shot would have done it, but you still jump on him to end the fight, Jalen Turner. What does he do? He's walking away. Lets Moik get back up. Moik recovers and wins the fight. By ground and pound. Because what does he do? He actually tries to finish a fucking fight. And not go for a walk-off. Now, like I said, the reason that Jalen Turner did this is because he didn't want to hurt people anymore. He's been outspoken about this. He didn't feel the want and the anger inside of him to hurt somebody. So he wanted to do the bare minimum. I also think that the Bobby Green thing played into it a lot. Actually, the Moicano one. I mean, this is after the first walk-off, but the Moicano one, I think, plays into it. He knocks Bobby Green out cold. Bobby Green is out. Look at what he's doing. Ground and pound, trying to finish the fight. Referee's not stepping in. Bobby Green is out. Look at how many follow-up shots. These are unnecessary. He's out cold. Kerry Hatley waited until Bobby Green was out cold to step in and stop that fight. Now, if you're Jalen Turner, you don't want to do that again. Because you've seen how it fucks people up. Everybody knows putting somebody out cold fucks them up. Really, really late stoppage there. So it's kind of the mixture of he didn't want to fucking ground and pound a dude until he was out cold again. And he didn't feel that need to hurt people anymore. Hurt people, hurt people. Final news before we get to Dana White's Contender season, some announced fights this week. Kiefer Crosby has called out Marc Goddard for ridiculous reffing. Now, if you watched UFC Shanghai, you would know what the fuck they're talking about. If you didn't watch UFC Shanghai, let me break it down. Round one, Kiefer Crosby, by the way, massive underdog, goes into this fight against some Chinese guy. Chinese guy finishes all of his opponents in round one or something. Like, it's insane. Like, he's very, very talented, very good. Maybe. Anyways, round one, Kiefer Crosby is on the ground. He's a grounded opponent. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the rules of MMA, you cannot knee a grounded opponent in the head. I don't even know if you can knee them in the... I don't think you can. Yes, you can. What am I talking about? You can knee them in the body. You cannot knee a grounded opponent in the head in the unified rules of MMA. You can clearly see his leg here is on the ground. He's a grounded opponent. and he is kneed directly in the face, badly. Cut him open right here, badly. He goes out like he's like fucking on the ground, stunned, dazed. Referee steps in and goes, hey, yo, you cannot. Who was it against? Some dude with one name, I think. Anyway, I don't know. It doesn't say. Marc Goddard steps in, says to the guy, you cannot fucking do that. By the way, I think he took 2 points. Or 1 point. I don't know. I think he took 2 points. Puts the kneer, the Chinese guy, puts him away, and goes up to Kiefer Crosby, who's bleeding badly. And he goes, are you good? And Kiefer Crosby goes, yeah. And he goes, okay. Calls in the doctor. Asks the doctor, by the way, Chinese doctor, don't think he understood what was going on. Not because he's Chinese, but because he doesn't, I don't know if he spoke English, but he clearly didn't understand what was going on because he looks at the cut. He didn't inspect Kiefer Crosby for being unable to continue due to concussion. He inspected the cut. And then he looks at the cut for about 2 seconds and goes, oh, no, he's good. And then the referee goes, okay. So he asks Kiefer again, are you good? Are you ready to continue? Now, at this point, 45 seconds has passed. And Kiefer goes, yeah. And Marc Goddard goes, okay. And then he starts the fight again. Almost immediately, Kiefer Crosby is punched in the head, falls down, and then gets ground and pounded because he was already concussed and kneed in the head. Then, this is what pisses me off about this situation, because obviously, not Marc Goddard's fault. Probably the doctor's fault. Probably Kiefer Crosby's fault. Probably his coach's fault. I mean, if you're Kiefer Crosby coach, dude, what are you doing? Why are you not throwing in the fucking towel? Your fighter is concussed. He was just kneed badly in the head. Enough to make him bleed profusely. And you're letting him continue to fight? What are you doing as a coach? Save your fucking fighter, bro. Obviously, your fighter is going to say, I want to continue fighting. It's your job to step in. Anyways, what has pissed me off the most about the situation? Kiefer Crosby posted on Instagram the next day. Concussed still, by the way. I have to take this with a grain of salt. Post, yeah, take a point away and I'll carry on. Sound, thumbs up. My job is to keep you safe at all times, quotes. How come I didn't get 5 minutes at Marc Goddard? 45 seconds I got and couldn't even see straight or remember what happened. So why did you say I'll continue? Obviously, I was going to continue because that's what fighters do, but to rush me back in while still concussed and confused is fucking ridiculous. You? What the fuck are you talking about? He asked you if you were ready to continue, and you said yes. How is that his fault? How are you blaming him for you saying I'm ready to continue? Obviously, that's what fighters do. Then maybe you shouldn't be a fucking fighter, buddy. You're concussed. You were kneed in the head. And then you were asked, are you good to continue? You said, yeah, let me back in there. Let me fight him. And then you're complaining that he let you back in? You said to. He was going to give you the 5 minutes. If you said no, if you said, give me a minute, but you said, yeah, I'm ready to continue fighting. It's unbelievable. Sorry about my crash out there. We're back with Dana White's Contender Series finish. I just want to talk about this because I'm really enjoying this show. Amazing this episode last week. And now, if they're like boring episodes, I probably won't talk about them. Like week 1, I'm definitely didn't talk about. I don't know if I talked about week 2. We're talking about week 3. 5 fights, 5 finishes, 4 in the first round. We got Dante Johnson, 5'8" heavyweight. By the way, looks like he could make welterweight. Anyways, he gets finished here pretty early. A minute and a bit into round 1, he's finished by Dante 5'8" Johnson. 5'8" heavyweight. Dante Johnson. Dana White looking very impressed. So I think it's still. By the way, I also wanted to bring this up. I forgot about this, but I just seen it right now. Can we get a better picture of? Here we go. Please. You can't really see. He has peace tattooed across his stomach. My guy, you are a professional fighter. All right? Peace isn't really in the job description. Anyways, amazing finish from him. He's getting mauled in the heavyweight division because he did get clipped pretty early into the round as well. He got hurt. He got not hurt, but he got hit across the head and he like wobbled like all the way like this. Like one of those fucking what are they called? Those bags that you hit and they go down and come all the way back up. Like he wobbled like that. After getting punched in the temple, he went, whoa! And then he came back and he ended up winning the fight, but and this is also his fifth or sixth fight. I think it was his sixth fight of 2025. And he is 6-0. He's been professional since the beginning of 2025. Undefeated. He might actually do well, but he's so short. Like, a lot of the heavyweight guys are pretty tall. And he also weighed like 209 pounds. Bro, we can cut to fucking 185. We can cut to middleweight. We might be able to cut to 170. He's got big muscles, though. I could see him at middleweight. He does not look like a heavyweight, though. I don't like that division for him at all. And if he has enough power to put out heavyweights, he'll be a fucking force to be reckoned with at middleweight, dude. Now, this was the second fight. This was the only fight that was not finished in the fifth. Sorry. That was not finished in the first. This fight sucked. Perez looked pretty decent on the ground, but he gassed out. It was a very heavy grappling fight. Manuel Souza was mauled in this fight. For the first 2 rounds, he was mauled. But at the end of the second round, you see them stand up, and Perez is gassed. La Pasión, I was calling him. La Pasión was gassed. He's like, can't keep his hands up. He's got his arms down. He's getting clipped on the chin. Got hurt pretty bad by a body shot or two. And then I think Manuel Souza went for like a right hand that was ducked under by Perez, and he went for a takedown off that, which was pretty nice. But he was very, very tired. Going into the third, I had predicted in my group chat going into that third round that it would be an early finish. It was a mid finish. Perez was very, very tired, very resilient, but noticeably tired. I think he had kind of given up, even though he was winning the fight. I really think he could have. Manuel Souza was throwing out submissions from his back for the first 2 rounds, but it wasn't anything substantial. He got mauled. He lost the first 2 rounds, and he came back in round 3. He fucking Neil Magni'd this dude Perez, La Pasión. And Lenza, like, even these, like, ground and pound shots are not that good. I don't think that Manuel Souza is that good. Like, I know he's got a lot of Muay Thai fights. He's got a lot of MMA fights, but, like, I wasn't that impressed. Like, he's finishing a dude who can't even stand up. He doesn't have enough energy to stand up in his fucking legs. I don't think. Not enough for a contract. Horrible takedown defense. I agree, Evan Theo Harris. I don't think he should have got a contract. He got a contract, but I don't think he should have. He got mauled for the first 2 rounds. Came back with a Neil Magny, fucking Charles Johnson finish. Not impressed. Next, 30 seconds KO by the most. I think we were calling him Mr. Worldwide. I call him ethnically androgynous because he is from Chechnya. He was born in Chechnya. He trains in Germany. He was fighting in the United States of America. The flag he walked out with was from Turkey, and he wants his next fight to be in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Pick a fucking country, bro. This dude's trying to take over the world. Country by country. He's got 5 countries right now that he's repping all of them. It's insane. Yakiev. And he's fighting some dude who sucks. The dude sucks. At Grok. Where is he from? He was born in Chechnya, fights out of Turkey. They talked about him fighting out of Russia or out of Germany on the broadcast. Anyways, he got a crazy finish. We're gonna play it here.
Oh,
Nice right hand there by Akiayev. Nice
Beautiful knee, beautiful right hand, sits him down and ends it in 30 seconds flat. Very impressive. Kinda, you know. I don't know how good his opponent was. Wasn't terrible. Next fight, the fourth co-main of the co-main, bud. The co-main of the night. Marcio Barbosa. He's fighting some dude who used to sell roofs. Marcio Barbosa looked fucking nasty, bro. He didn't get hit. I'm pretty sure that he didn't get hit. Not one significant strike landed from Damon Wilson in this fight. Marcio Barbosa looked mad good, bro. He looked clean. He was landing very nicely to the jaw many times. One of my buddies said Damon Wilson has no chin. He got clipped as clean as I've seen anyone get clipped and ate that shit many times until it was just too much for him. But you can see here, look at that beautiful knee. Clips him down badly and then lands a couple follow-up shots. Someone said it was an early stoppage, by the way, one of my friends. He's out cold. Look at that. That guy is not intelligently defending himself. The beautiful stoppage. Marcio Barbosa, very, very good. I liked this fight a lot. It was pretty long as well. Like, it was a couple minutes for sure. So, you'd love to see that. We got to actually see a little bit of Barbosa's game. He's kind of old. I don't really remember. But it should. Well, he deserves a contract. Yakiayev deserves a contract. Dante Jackson deserves deserves a contract. And Ryan Gondra deserves a fucking contract, buddy. All right? Look at this finish. Clean. Oh, my God. Sat him down very nicely. Ryan Gandra. Can't wait to see this dude in the UFC. Some pretty good fights last night, all in all. Today's announcement, Brandon Moreno's taking on Tatsuro Taira at UFC 323. This is probably... And also, this goes hand in hand with Joshua Van saying that he signed a contract today. UFC 323. I'm expecting maybe this is the feature fight or the co-main. Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira, #1 contender fight. I think Moreno will take it. We have never seen Moreno look this good ever. Tatsuro Taira, also good. Who did he lose to? He got kind of lay and prayed by Brandon Royval. But I think Brandon Moreno is very, very good. I think that it's the best Brandon Moreno that we've ever seen, and he used to be a champion. He went 4 fights. He went 2-2 with Davison Figueiredo. He had 4 fights with him. I like this fight. Because Taira is very good. He had that year-ish break. Fought Hyun Sung Park. Mauled Hyun Sung Park, but Hyun Sung Park's not that good. Sorry about it. I'm sure, just get to the level. There's levels to this game. You're not at the level, bro. That's it. Brandon Moreno's at that level. Brandon Moreno is very good. He's very crafty. He's got amazing scrambles, amazing hands. His boxing is clean. It's fucking sharp as shit. He does all this little head movement things all the time that I love. I'm a very big Brandon Moreno might be my favorite fighter, bro. Now that Big DP's gone, Brandon Moreno might be my guy. I love Brandon Moreno. I'm such a big fan. But I think that Brandon Moreno will take this. Taira's really good, though. Taira is championship material. I just think Brandon Moreno's phenomenal. I would say that I think he would give current day Pantoja a run for his money. Pantoja's winning, but Moreno's so good, dude. And he's just getting better. He's just getting better. He's 33? He's pretty young. He's not old. And he's beating up prospects. I think Brandon Moreno is future champ. 2-time champ. Maybe not today, Maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next day, but one day I will be. What did he say? I will be a UFC champion. I always forget the second part, but I would remember the first part. Maybe not today. Maybe not another day. And Joshua Van probably main eventing that card. Joshua Van is a big, big, big name. Not like an Ilia Topuria or a Hamzat Chimaev, but they have like their glazers from their countries. Joshua Van is a big name in the MMA world. If you know MMA, you know Joshua Van, and you're a fan. I don't think there's many, if any, Joshua Van haters. Maybe Charles Johnson. But Joshua Van's a fucking gamer. He's very good. And it's already been confirmed that he is fighting next for the belt against Alexandre Pantoja. I didn't have him in the Royval fight, and he won. However, if he didn't drop Royval, I think he would have lost. I think he would have lost that last round if he didn't drop Royval right at the end. I think it was a very close 1-1 going into the third, and I think Royval kind of was taking it. If Royval didn't get dropped, I think he would have won. But Joshua Van ended up coming out victorious over Brendan Royval. He went from fighting Bruno Silva to Brendan Royval. Joshua Van's really good, bro. He's good, man. And he's young. He's hungry. There's a world that he beats Pantoja, but Toja is so fucking good. I don't think that he's the GOAT. I think that he's not the GOAT because his Kaya Sakura win is aging extremely poorly. You know, they had to get a guy from another organization to have Toja fight somebody. He had already beat most of the division, but then Kaya Sakura lost to Tim Elliott, which I think really calls into, is he the GOAT over DJ? DJ had 11 title defenses, most ever. I don't know. But this fight is, I'm guessing, going to be the main event of UFC 323, on December 6th. I don't know why I keep saying 2. On December 6th. It should be a banger. It should be a good fight. It's a Joshua Van fight. They're always good, so. In Joshua Van, we trust, and we love Joshua Van on this channel. Come on the show. For real. And next, Josh Emmett's fighting Yusuf Zalal. Boring. Someone said Emmett by KO. JDM Dang said Emmett by KO. I don't agree. I think Yusuf Zalal will win this fight. Josh Emmett struggled against Lerone Murphy, who I think, not that he has a similar style to Lerone Murphy, but he does like to play on the outside. He's kind of a runner, kind of a track star. He just beat Calvin Kattar. I think Zalal will win this fight. I met Yusuf Zalal. I don't know. Josh Emmett's also kind of old. I don't think Yusuf Zalal is finishing him. Yusuf Zalal is fucking boring as shit, but Josh Emmett's not all that. I think this is going to be a boring fight, and I think Yusuf Zalal will walk away with a very boring 29-28 victory. He might lose like round 3 or something. Next fight. Oh my God, I don't care. Erin Blanchfield, get off of my screen. I don't like Erin Blanchfield. I've never liked Erin Blanchfield, but I especially don't like her after she was so disrespectful to my girl. What the fuck is her name? Macy Barber. She was so disrespectful to Macy Barber. I love Macy Barber. Not really. I think she's kind of a can too. I think Erin Blanchfield is in the wrong weight class, first of all. She's small. She doesn't cut much weight. And she gets thrown around. Manon Fiorot made Erin Blanchfield look like a fucking doll, dude. Manon Fiorot threw Erin Blanchfield across the octagon. Erin Blanchfield's very small for the division. I think she should drop in weight class. I know she only cuts like 6 or 7 or 8 pounds. Manon's probably cutting a good 20. Nah, not 20 is a stretch. But Manon's cutting weight, bro. Erin Blanchfield should be cutting more weight. I think she could make 115. You can make 115. She can make 115. I'm confident in that. She's fighting Tracy Cortez. I'm not a big fan of Tracy Cortez either, but Tracy won her last fight against fucking some can. I don't think Tracy Cortez is that good. This is going to be a bad fight. I can't wait to not watch it. We're going Tracy Cortez, though, because I just can't stand Erin Blanchfield. I just can't stand her. She's laying prey. I don't like her at all. Fuck Erin Blanchfield. This is a good fight. Nah. This is an all right fight. And I also feel like Erin Blanchfield would do good against... Maybe not. Maybe she shouldn't drop weight class, bro. I was going to say against one of these two, but I don't even think that that's accurate. I don't think Erin Blanchfield's that good at all. Women's strawweight. This is big. And I trust Kevin. Kevin posts some pretty reliable information. Mackenzie Dern is scheduled to fight Virna Jandiroba at UFC 321. Now, I believe I called this fight ages ago. Ages ago, I said that this fight was happening. I'm pretty sure I called this fight last month because I had seen some YouTube video of some gambling guy who I've never heard of. Gambling with, by the way, Mackenzie Dern, big poker player. Gambling with Mackenzie Dern and asking her who she's fighting. And Mackenzie, didn't say a name, but she said, oh, she broke my nose in our last fight, but I still won, which is Virna Jandiroba. So we knew that she was fighting Virna Jandiroba. Kevin has announced it as a title fight. The co-main event for UFC 321 is Mackenzie Dern versus Virna Jandiroba in a title fight for women's strawweight title. Now, you might be thinking, I thought the women's strawweight champion was Zhang Weili. And you would be correct. Zhang Weili is currently the women's strawweight champion. However, if this fight is being made as a title fight, then that means that Zhang Weili will be relinquishing her title and moving up to women's flyweight to fight Valentina Shevchenko. I love that fight. Those are the two of the best women's fighters ever, other than Amanda Nunes and maybe Ronda Rousey, but I don't know if we still count her. I love Zhang Weili. I want to see her become champ, dude. I'm really upset that UFC's not doing champ anymore. I know it holds up the division, but it feels way better to have the champion actually move up in weight class and be fighting the champion above as a champion. You know what I mean? It feels better because now you look at these two women and you go, well, they didn't beat Zhang Weili. And we know the only reason that Zhang Weili's given up her title is because she's moving up. And she's forced to by the UFC. Zhang Weili would not give up her title. No one in their right mind is giving up UFC championship status for a chance to win again as a champion. They're doing it because they're forced to. So clearly she's been forced to relinquish her title. Now you go, neither of these women are beating Zhang Weili. Maybe Virna Jandiroba, but Mackenzie Dern definitely isn't. I don't even think Mackenzie Dern deserves a title fight. She's on a one-fight win streak. Maybe two. You just look at this and you go, they don't deserve it, though. Zhang Weili is the champion. And even if she moved up and fought Valentina as strawweight champion, she fights Valentina at flyweight, wins it, and relinquishes strawweight championship, I would still be okay with that. I'm not okay with her going up not as a champion. Because now it's like, oh, she's moving up, but it's not a champ versus champ fight. It's champ versus an unranked person new to the division. You know what I mean? Like a champ fight just sells better. A Conor McGregor moving up in weight class to fight Eddie Alvarez sells better than Ilia Topuria. Sorry. Conor McGregor being the featherweight champion, moving up in weight class to fight champion Eddie Alvarez sells better than Ilia Topuria moving up in weight class and fighting Charles Oliveira for the championship. Now, I understand also Charles was not the champion at the time, so it even hit worse, but come on. It just sells better. Champ versus champ sells better than some dude versus some other dude or some dude versus the champion. Champ versus champ sells better. Keep champ. Give us more double champs. Not more, because I don't love when all fighters are like, oh, I have one defense, I'm going to move up. But, like, if you deserve it, bro, if you have no more contenders in your division with, which other than John Giroba, Weili doesn't, and Weili's defended multiple times and fought just about everybody who there is to fight in the division, she deserves it. Merab Dvalishvili has, like, no contenders. He's fought everyone there is to fight. He deserves it. Ilia Topuria defended one time against Max fucking Holloway and moved up, which I understand. Like, that one I was okay with them stripping him. Weili deserves it, bro. Give her champ. Give her double champion status. Make her one of 5 double champions. I don't care. It's way better that way. It's just better that way. Anyways, final news here. I'm disappointed with Bryan Battle. I am very disappointed with Bryan Battle, but he was cut from UFC days later. He signed with Dirty Boxing to fight on Saturday, this weekend. He'll be fighting in Miami against some fucking schmuck. And he's probably going to beat him because he actually has hands. Although he's extremely undisciplined, so he might miss weight and the fight won't happen, which I could also see happening. Not a big Bryan Battle fan right now. I was, bro. I was a big Bryan Battle boy. All right, here's the entire card. I don't even know if he's on this fucking thing. He is. He's fighting Freitas. He's fighting Freitas. I'm going to watch Dirty Boxing. I've never watched a Dirty Boxing before, though, but there's no UFC this weekend, so I probably will watch DBX. I don't know how it goes. I know it's like, isn't it with elbows and like you can ground and pound, but you can't like... The rules are interesting, so I'm interested to see how it goes. Also, PFL Rwanda was announced. Don't have a clip for it. Don't really care. Is there BKFC tonight? I know there's Misfits this weekend as well. Not tonight, but BKFC this weekend. I know Misfits is this weekend. Tony Ferguson's fighting. Darren Till's fighting. Lad, I've got a child in Brazil. I don't even care, lad. I don't even care about her. It's her birthday. She turned 3. Don't even care. That'll do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, why aren't we hitting that like button, bro? For real. Why are we not hitting the like button? We enjoyed this video. Hit that fucking like button right now. And also hit that subscribe button. I post videos like these once a week. I post prediction videos. I didn't post them last week because it was early in the morning. I went on vacation on Friday, so I didn't have time to record it. I do usually do prediction videos every single week. I do news videos every single week. We're going to do like something different this week because there's no UFC. We're going to be making a different video. I might do a Sunday, might do a Friday as well, though. So we'll see. I don't know. We're doing something different this week. Again, because no UFC. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.